All right, Aries, let's get into your reading.
All right, the message that I have for you today is this, and it stopped me in my tracks. This person is done pretending they can function without you, and the cards scream that truth today. They want to walk straight into your life and stay. No more games and no more second guessing. The message split into two pieces on purpose because both halves carry a different kind of urgency. One half declares readiness to build beside you, and the other confesses that distance is no longer survivable. That combination is volcanic, and the reading behind it matches every ounce of that raw intensity. I want you to understand this message is not wishful thinking. It is a declaration from their core. Something inside this person finally cracked wide open, and what poured out is pure, unfiltered need for you. The raw honesty packed into this message is rare, and the cards validate it with zero hesitation. Come in close with me, because every card pulled today reinforces exactly why this message is real. Nothing about this reading felt uncertain, and the conviction in the cards matched the conviction in the message. The first card in front of me is the King of Cups, and it set the tone immediately. King of Cups represents a person who reached emotional maturity, and that maturity is now directed at you. This card tells me they are not speaking from impulse. They are speaking from settled and certain knowing. King of Cups carries the weight of a decision already made, and that decision involves choosing you permanently. The emotional clarity radiating from this card is remarkable, and it suggests they thought this through completely. King of Cups never surfaces for whims. It only arrives when a heart has made its final call. Their desire to live alongside you is grounded and intentional, and this card validates that to the bone. They processed the separation on their own terms, and King of Cups confirms they emerged with absolute certainty. What this card makes undeniably clear is that wondering is over, and the time for choosing arrived. The next card that came forward is the Two of Wands, and it speaks directly to their declaration. Two of Wands holds bold, visionary energy, and it confirms they are actively mapping a path toward you. This card shows me they picked a direction, and that direction leads nowhere other than straight to you. Two of Wands says walking away was never rejection. It was clearing the path to walk toward you. They stood at the edge of two worlds, chose yours without hesitation, and Two of Wands validates that. The commitment forming inside them is not hypothetical. It is concrete and moving toward execution right now. Two of Wands captured the exact moment a person stops debating and starts executing what their soul demands. Then we have the Empress, and this card wraps the entire message in warmth and devotion. The Empress tells me their desire to come over is rooted in nurturing, protecting, and building something lasting. They do not just want proximity, they crave a life woven together with yours at every single level. The Empress reveals a protective instinct that has awakened inside them, and it is entirely focused on you. They want to wrap their world around yours, and the Empress shows that impulse is genuine and lasting. This card carries fertility and creation, and it tells me they envision building something abundant beside you. The Empress does not appear for surface attraction. It appears when roots are ready to be planted deeply. The final card is the Four of Wands, and this one sealed the entire message with undeniable confirmation. Four of Wands is the card of homecoming and celebration, and it landed here with unmistakable power. Four of Wands confirms what this person wants: a shared home, a shared life, and a fresh beginning. The message today is layered and urgent and deeply honest, and every card stood behind it without question. They are walking away from everything that is not you and heading straight toward what they truly want. Four of Wands radiates the energy of celebration and permanent union, and that energy saturates this entire reading. Four of Wands says the foundation for reunion already exists, and what remains is simply stepping into it. This person meant every syllable of what they declared, and the cards confirmed it from beginning to end. The cards left nothing to interpretation today, and the message reads exactly the way it was meant to.
So let us go deeper into your side of this, because what you carry deserves to be acknowledged. You have been standing at the edge of something massive, and your emotions have not settled once. Part of you craves to run toward what you feel, and the other part stays frozen in caution. Your heart recognized the truth in that message instantly, but your mind keeps raising walls of doubt. The longing you carry sits heavier than most could handle, and yet you kept moving forward. You crave stability and closeness more than you admit, and that craving has been eating at you. A hunger for something permanent lives inside you, and pretending otherwise has drained your emotional reserves. The cards picked up on everything you suppress, and they are laying it bare in this section. The first card for your energy is the Five of Cups, and it landed with emotional weight. Five of Cups tells me you mourned something that never actually left. It just moved, out of reach. You focused on what was missing for so long that you forgot what still remained standing behind you. Five of Cups reveals a sadness rooted in absence, and that absence colored how you see everything lately. The loss was never about love disappearing. It was about losing access to what you knew was real. Five of Cups says your grief was proof of real investment, and the depth of it is undeniable. Five of Cups does not appear for shallow bonds. It appears when separation cut into something sacred. You mourned with dignity and in silence, and the cards honor the weight of that solitary labor. The restless nights and quiet tears were never weakness. They were evidence of a bond that truly mattered. Five of Cups held a mirror to your sorrow, and what it reflected was love that refuses burial. The next card for your energy is the Hermit, and it illuminates the isolation you chose deliberately. The Hermit tells me you withdrew from the world on purpose, to sit with your feelings without interference. You needed space to process what happened, and that withdrawal was the wisest decision you could have made. Nobody fully grasped the depth of what you were navigating, and that loneliness compounded every feeling. The Hermit confirms you were searching for clarity inside yourself, not validation from anyone outside. You turned inward because the answers you needed could not be found in conversation, only in reflection. The Hermit does not appear for avoidance. It appears when solitude becomes a deliberate act of preservation. Your inner world grew richer during that isolation, and the wisdom you gathered will serve you well. Then we have the Queen of Swords, and this card captures the sharpness you built as protection. Queen of Swords tells me you guarded your words carefully, filtering everything before letting it reach others. You built intellectual armor around your emotional core, and that armor kept you functional when feelings threatened collapse. Queen of Swords says you trained yourself to analyze before reacting, and that discipline cost real energy. The clarity you sharpened is a genuine gift, but the cards also recognize the exhaustion underneath it. Behind every composed response and measured silence, your heart screamed things your mouth refused to say. Queen of Swords confirms your strength was never cold. It was warm emotion wrapped in calculated composure. The armor you crafted kept you standing, but the cards want you to know softness still lives underneath. The final card reflecting you is the Page of Pentacles, and it reveals where your focus quietly shifted. Page of Pentacles tells me you started building something on your own, investing energy into your foundation. You channeled the pain into productivity, and that redirection kept you grounded when everything else felt unstable. Page of Pentacles says you have been planting seeds in your own soil, preparing ground for something real. Even during the hardest stretch, you never stopped working toward a future that was worth having. Page of Pentacles sees the discipline you brought to your healing, and it honors that quiet commitment fully. Page of Pentacles does not appear for stagnation. It appears when quiet, consistent effort is producing roots. Your patience throughout this entire season has been remarkable, and the cards see every ounce of it. The depth of what you hold inside is extraordinary, and every card today reflected that truth directly. Okay, let us look at what is happening inside them, because their inner world is loud right now. This person reached a tipping point, and the silence they maintained is no longer sustainable. Their internal landscape has been shredded by the weight of pretending, and the cracks are visible now. They spent months constructing a life without you, and that construction collapsed from the inside out. Every attempt to move past what they feel only deepened the realization that nothing else compares. Their pride held them hostage longer than it should have, and the chains on that pride finally snapped. What broke free is raw and urgent and sincere, and the cards captured all of it today. The intensity radiating from their side is unmistakable, and I felt it from the very first pull. The first card on their side is the Magician, and it reveals the transformation happening within them. The Magician tells me they gathered every resource they possess to make this declaration real. This is not scattered rambling from an unfocused mind. The Magician confirms they channeled focused willpower. They mapped out what they want with precision, and that want begins and ends with being near you. The Magician represents mastery over circumstances, and it tells me they are engineering a path back. Their mindset shifted from passive longing into active creation, and that shift produced the message. The Magician does not appear for daydreamers. It appears when intention locks into alignment with capability.
They woke up to the fact that waiting was costing them everything, and they refused that price. The magician confirms their declaration was not impulsive. It was the product of deliberate inner transformation. What they built inside over the past weeks is a new foundation, constructed entirely for this. The next card for their energy is the Ten of Swords, and it explains what finally broke them. Ten of Swords represents a complete psychological ending, and it tells me they hit emotional rock bottom. They reached a point where staying away hurt more than the fear of being vulnerable ever could. That breaking point was not dramatic or visible. It was a quiet collapse that rewired their priorities. Ten of Swords confirms the old version that resisted this bond has officially died and dissolved. Whatever excuses they leaned on before crumbled under the weight of how badly they need this connection. The suffering they endured in silence became unbearable, and Ten of Swords marks that exact turning point. From the ashes of that collapse came clarity, and this card confirms the breakdown became a breakthrough. They stopped fighting what they feel, and for the first time, they surrendered fully to truth. Ten of Swords confirms the old resistance is gone, and what rose in its place is unshakable conviction. Then we have Strength, and this card reveals the quiet courage that formed after their reckoning. Strength tells me they found a new bravery within, one born from vulnerability, not from pride. This is not aggressive willpower forcing its way through. This is steady, grounded courage that chose honesty. Strength confirms they tamed the fear that paralyzed them and replaced it with gentle, unshakable resolve. The declaration came from this exact place, from a heart no longer afraid of standing fully exposed. Strength does not surface for the reckless. It surfaces for those who chose openness despite the risk. Their inner world transformed from chaos into calm certainty, and strength holds that shift as permanent. The final card for them is the Three of Cups, and it reveals what their soul truly craves. Three of Cups carries celebration and emotional overflow, and it tells me they want shared joy. They are not approaching this from desperation. They approach it from genuine desire for shared happiness. Three of Cups says their vision of coming over is not about escaping. It is about creating beauty. Their emotional landscape shifted from grief to anticipation, and that shift saturates this entire card. Three of Cups confirms they see a life beside you filled with warmth, and that vision drives everything. Their inner world is no longer at war, and the cards confirm they arrived at unified resolve. Three of Cups sealed their side of this reading with joy, and that joy is directed toward you. What lives inside them now is certainty dressed in courage, and every card confirmed that without exception. Now, let us see what is actually moving, because the action here is impossible to ignore. The cards in this section are rapid and grounded, pointing directly to tangible physical movement. Nothing about what is coming is theoretical, and the steps being taken are concrete and underway. Plans are forming behind the scenes with real structure, and those plans involve closing the gap.
A decision has been locked in and acted upon, and the momentum behind it is not slowing. Logistics are shifting in the background, and practical arrangements are being finalized without any hesitation. The universe is coordinating details that neither of you planned, and it is operating with precision. Something tangible is being assembled in the physical realm, and the pieces are falling into place fast. The first card driving the action is the Six of Wands, and it carries victorious energy. Six of Wands tells me a bold declaration already happened, and it landed with real weight. Words were spoken or sent that cannot be taken back, and Six of Wands says they landed. The message was delivered with conviction, and the response it sparked set everything into motion. Six of Wands confirms the first move has already been made, and it was met without rejection. Acknowledgement of this connection is forming publicly, and secrecy is no longer part of the picture. Six of Wands represents triumph after internal conflict, and the victory is practical and visible. The victory is producing real results in the physical world, and the forward motion is undeniable. They are stepping forward with confidence, and that confidence is attracting alignment from every direction. Six of Wands carries zero hesitation behind its movement, and the action is celebratory and forward-facing. Six of Wands sealed the opening act of this transition, and everything that follows builds on it. The next card is the Knight of Pentacles, and it brings methodical, determined forward progress. Knight of Pentacles tells me the movement is not reckless. It is calculated and steady and reliable. This card shows me priorities being reorganized and belongings being packed, with relocation actively being prepared. A deliberate step-by-step approach is being executed, and Knight of Pentacles validates every one. Practical details are being handled one by one, and the precision behind each step is deliberate. They are not rushing blindly toward you. They are building a responsible bridge and walking it with care. Financial adjustments are being made, and resources are being redirected to make the transition smooth. Knight of Pentacles does not appear for empty promises. It appears when follow-through is underway. The reliability in this card is absolute, and what it confirms is that every word spoken was meant. Knight of Pentacles says the groundwork has been laid patiently, and the structure beneath this move is solid. The commitment has been translated into scheduled, deliberate action, and nothing about it is abstract. What was once spoken intention has now been converted into physical, measurable action across the board. Travel or housing shifts may already be underway, and Knight of Pentacles supports that grounded move. The final card is the Ace of Pentacles, and it represents a brand new material beginning. Ace of Pentacles tells me a fresh opportunity landed in front of them, and it cleared the path. Whether it involves a new living situation or a financial opening, the way to you just cleared. Ace of Pentacles carries the seed of long-term stability, and the foundation for this chapter is real. The universe placed a golden opportunity directly in their path, and they seized it without question. Every obstacle between this declaration and its fulfillment is being dismantled, one by one and with purpose. Practical doors that were shut have suddenly opened, and Ace of Pentacles confirms the timing is divine. The material world is cooperating with what the heart decided, and that cooperation is accelerating rapidly.
Ace of Pentacles does not appear for temporary fixes. It appears when permanent circumstances are forming. The new beginning forming in the material world mirrors what was declared, and the alignment is flawless. Every card confirmed that action is already happening, and nothing about this section is hypothetical. The movement toward you is real and structured, and the cards leave absolutely no room for doubt. So, let us go into what they would never say, because this is where truth actually lives. This person carries confessions so heavy that speaking them feels like standing exposed in an open field. What they hide beneath their declarations runs deeper than words, and the cards exposed all of it. They rehearsed what to say 1,000 times, but the real confession never left their throat. The version they offered was brave, but the version they withheld is the one that matters. Their hidden world is consumed by you in ways that would stun you, and the intensity is relentless. No distraction could quiet it, and no self-control managed to reduce what they actually feel inside. What they suppress would alter everything between you, and the cards refused to let it stay hidden. The first card for their confessions is the Nine of Cups, and it reveals their most guarded desire. Nine of Cups is known as the wish card, and their deepest wish is built entirely around you. They want more than proximity. They want the entire fantasy they constructed in their private mind. Nine of Cups reveals they imagined every detail of a life beside you, down to the smallest moments. The confession they suppress is not vague longing. It is an elaborate vision they carry everywhere. They picture mornings beside you and evenings in your presence, and that picture consumes them nightly. Nine of Cups says their wish is not for a visit, it is for permanence and belonging. The desire beneath their words is total, and Nine of Cups confirms they want all of you. They guard these inner visions fiercely, and what they imagine sharing with you feels sacred to them. What they crave transcends the physical. It lives in the intimate space of being fully seen by you. Nine of Cups does not appear for casual attraction. It appears when a heart drafted a complete future. The confession locked inside this card is absolute devotion, dressed in silence and protected by fear. Then we have the Tower, and this card rips open the confession they buried deepest of all. The Tower tells me something shattered inside them recently, and the truth they hid came flooding out. The confession behind the Tower is devastating. They are terrified of how much power you hold over them. You occupy a place inside them that no one else has reached, and that realization terrifies them. The Tower reveals they tried to contain what they feel, and the containment failed spectacularly. Everything they sealed away erupted at once, and the Tower left no corner of their heart untouched. Their hidden truth is that losing you felt like the ground splitting beneath their entire identity. They never told a soul how deeply it broke them, and the Tower shows silence made it worse. The raw confession is they cannot picture existing without you, and that dependency scares them deeply. The Tower confirms their walls were not dismantled gently, They were demolished by years of suppression. The vulnerability the Tower exposed is the rawest in this reading, and it cuts to their core. What they confess privately is that you are irreplaceable, and they have always known that truth. The final card for their confessions is the Seven of Pentacles, and it reveals a confession about patience. Seven of Pentacles tells me they secretly invested in this bond, even while pretending they had moved on. The hidden truth is they never abandoned what you built. They tended it quietly from a distance. Seven of Pentacles reveals they checked on you without you knowing and measured the gap with anguish. Their confession is that every day apart felt like watching something precious wither, and they blamed themselves. The guilt they carry for lost time is immense, and Seven of Pentacles holds every ounce of it. Seven of Pentacles says their patience was not indifference, it was a desperate attempt at earning timing. They believed they needed to grow enough to deserve standing beside you, and that belief kept them working. The unspoken admission in this card is that they never stopped cultivating a future, including you. Seven of Pentacles wraps this confession in quiet loyalty, and that loyalty ran deeper than anyone ever saw. Seven of Pentacles confirms the harvest they waited for is here, and they are ready to claim it. Every confession pulled today was layered with devotion, and the depth of it is staggering. What they carry for you is not ordinary, and no silence in the world could ever contain it.
Okay, let us see what the near future holds, because what is coming carries extraordinary weight. The first card for the future is Judgment, and it tells me a major spiritual reckoning is arriving. Judgment says the past is being reviewed and released, and a divine second chance is being granted. Then we have the Sun, and this card floods the near future with joy and clarity and warmth. The Sun tells me the fog between you is lifting entirely, and what remains is pure light. The final card is the Two of Cups, and it confirms mutual reunion, rooted in equal love. Two of Cups represents two hearts choosing each other consciously, and that choice is being made right now. Judgment, alongside the Sun and Two of Cups, is one of the most powerful reunion spreads possible. The near future holds a face-to-face reconnection, and the cards say it will reshape everything. What arrives next will not feel uncertain or partial. It will feel like destiny fulfilling its own promise. The reunion forming in the near future carries divine approval, and every card in this section backed that. My advice for you moving forward is this, and I need you to receive it with openness. Do not shrink from what is arriving, because everything in this reading confirmed it was meant for you. Trust the message exactly as it came through, and release the need to question what you know. When this person appears at your door, meet them with the genuine openness that the cards revealed. Let go of the wounds that told you to stay guarded, because the season for guarding ended. You earned this moment through patience and faith, and the cards want you to walk into it fully. Your only task now is to remain open and grounded,
because the universe is handling the rest completely. The message today was unmistakable from the very first card, and I want to bring it back clearly. This person declared that they want to come over and live beside you, and they meant every word. They are walking away from everything that kept them distant and walking directly toward what they want. King of Cups opened this reading with emotional maturity, and Two of Wands mapped the bold path forward. The Empress wrapped the message in nurturing devotion, and Four of Wands sealed it with homecoming energy. Five of Cups honored your grief, and the Hermit validated the isolation you used to find inner clarity. Queen of Swords captured the armor you built for protection, and Page of Pentacles honored your quiet discipline. The Magician revealed their deliberate transformation, and Ten of Swords marked the death of their old resistance. Strength showed the gentle courage they found within, and Three of Cups confirmed their craving for shared joy. Six of Wands brought victory and bold forward momentum, and Knight of Pentacles grounded it with reliable action. Ace of Pentacles opened a brand new door in the material world, and the practical path cleared instantly. Nine of Cups exposed their deepest wish, and the Tower shattered every wall they had left. Seven of Pentacles revealed they never stopped tending this bond, even while pretending they had walked away. Judgment called for spiritual reckoning and a divine second chance, and the sun flooded everything with light. Two of Cups sealed the entire reading with mutual reunion, and the confirmation could not be any stronger. Every card across all 6 parts aligned toward the same destination, and that destination is each other. This reading moved through me with rare intensity, and I felt the weight of every single card. The love woven through every section of this reading is undeniable, and the cards left nothing to chance. The love between you and this person is not common, and the universe has been orchestrating this return. What was broken is being made whole, and what was silent is about to speak louder than ever. This connection was always meant to circle back, and the cards confirmed that truth in every single section. You have carried so much with grace and patience, and the cards honor every moment of that endurance. What belongs to you is arriving, and the cards are certain nothing can stand in its way. Hold that truth close to your chest and let it carry you forward into what is already unfolding. Thank you for being here with me today and for trusting me with something this sacred. Sending you all of my love and light, and I will see you in the next reading. The first card for the future is Judgment, and it tells me a major spiritual reckoning is arriving. Judgment says the past is being reviewed and released, and a divine second chance is being granted. Then we have the Sun, and this card floods the near future with joy and clarity and warmth. The Sun tells me the fog between you is lifting entirely, and what remains is pure light. The final card is the Two of Cups, and it confirms mutual reunion, rooted in equal love.
Two of Cups represents two hearts choosing each other consciously, and that choice is being made right now. Judgment, alongside the Sun and Two of Cups, is one of the most powerful reunion spreads possible. The near future holds a face-to-face reconnection, and the cards say it will reshape everything. What arrives next will not feel uncertain or partial. It will feel like destiny fulfilling its own promise. The reunion forming in the near future carries divine approval, and every card in this section backed that. My advice for you moving forward is this, and I need you to receive it with openness. Do not shrink from what is arriving, because everything in this reading confirmed it was meant for you. Trust the message exactly as it came through, and release the need to question what you know. When this person appears at your door, meet